Hey there, my name is Michelle Harris.
My name is Hannah Klossman.
My name is Anna.
Nikki Hobbs.
Will Hinchliff.
I'm a community volunteer ambassador at the Alaska Public Lands Information Center in Anchorage, Alaska. One of my main roles includes recruiting and managing our volunteers in parks, or VIPs. And so these guys help with our education programs as well as staffing our visitor center. I also plan special events for our center, including our upcoming National Public Lands Day and our daily summer programs, where we invite speakers and presenters to our center around themes such as coffee with a scientist, women in the wilderness, and subsistence. I'm really thankful that I can social distance by working from home. That's something that I'm super fortunate to be able to do. I've been able to stay productive by working from my personal laptop. I am still reaching out to speakers and presenters for our daily summer programs, but we did have to shift our start dates to later in the summer. We also had to cancel some other upcoming events, so I am brainstorming new virtual opportunities so that our community can still get involved on their own time.
I am the Community Volunteer Ambassador here at Fire Island National Seashore, where I'm teleworking for park housing. My primary duties as a park CVA is to work and manage our volunteer program. I keep track of hours, assist with volunteer programs, and schedule volunteers as needed. In addition, I work with local partnering organizations, engage youth, and underserved communities through park programs. Due to the nation's pandemic, COVID-19, the National Park Service has made it their utmost priority to keep their employees and visitors safe through social distancing practices. With that in place, most employees have shifted their work lives to teleworking, making my duties change dramatically. I have moved my communications with volunteers and coworkers entirely to email, voice calls, and phone calls. Moving work virtually has made a difficult transition, but has also challenged me to think critically and explore other options such as online program development, creating weekly social media posts, and providing volunteers with online training resources for themselves. I am learning computer software such as Photoshop and Excel for informational flyers and stat documentation. In addition, I have also had the opportunity to work with our Natural Resource Division on their threatened species projects. Every few days, I go out to the field on my own and monitor for these threatened species and record my findings to the wildlife biologist.
I am an AmeriCorps Vista with the Marys River Watershed Council in Corvallis, Oregon. Today I am coming to you from my backyard outside of Tacoma, Washington, where I am teleworking. Ordinarily, my position includes grant research and writing, as well as event planning for fundraisers and volunteer events that we do, and then working on our education programs and our field trips. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have had to postpone many of our volunteer events, as well as cancel our field trips for the school year. So instead this time, I am continuing to research and write grants. I am also using Zoom and other teleconferencing platforms to stay in touch with my host site, and I'm working with our educational program partners to develop online resources for our students and teachers. For instance, I've created a video about backyard bird watching.
I am with the Geoscientists in the Parks program here in beautiful, check this place out, Oregon Caves National Monument. My main responsibilities right now, I am putting together educational programs for the state of Oregon. One of my main duties before all that was to guide cave tours, but with the ongoing situation, our park is closed to cave tours. So I am working on educational resources. Oh, there's one cave that's still open.
I'm spending this year living on the Buffalo National River, northern Arkansas, as an intern with Conservation Legacy and the National Park Service. My goals for this time are to gather facility asset data from the 135 miles of river and almost 12,000 acres of land that the park manages, including campground facilities, historic structures, trails, cemeteries, and much more, and to map them into GIS. I would say that social distancing has made this a very strange time to be starting my internship, but there has been a lot of communication, and I have been able to continue on with very little impact to my daily work. I would say that the biggest change has been with the park closing down to public access in the past week or two. So this has been kind of a sad time for me regarding the park, because this is one of the best times of year to be on the river, and I almost feel guilty working on site some days because the public, including locals, are not allowed to enjoy this beautiful area at this time. I have been trying to stay connected with a Facebook group for the river, and it's been very uplifting to see the positivity some people retain and the beautiful pictures from previous years that are being shared. And I'm reminding myself that this is probably a nice rest for the natural areas and animals here. I'm very thankful that the park regards safety as a top priority for both visitors and employees, and I hope that these hard times can come to an end soon so people can get back to enjoying this amazing place.
Fortunately, our neighboring state parks and our citywide trail systems in Anchorage are still accessible, and so I have still been hiking and running outside, but making sure to choose less trafficked areas where I know that I can maintain a certain social distance. I'm super grateful that we do still have these wild spaces open for us, at least for the time being, and I've been using them to get some footage for some different media projects.
Well, I'm on the beautiful Cliff Nature Trail, as you've seen a little bit of already. Super gorgeous up here. Our park's hiking trails are still open, but nothing else. So we're trying to get out and stay active. What a great place to be quarantined.
I continue to connect for public lands and conservation by focusing my efforts on keeping the public and visitors informed through the park's Facebook page.
I try to get outside at least every day to enjoy my natural environment, but from a safe social distance, of course.